voters are waiting to use the election machines. When issuing a provisional ballot to a voter, it's important to follow through the steps in the correct order. Before the ballot is provided to the voter must fill in the provisional affidavit envelope, printing their name, date of birth, telephone number, full registered address, and signing in sections number 1 and number 2. In section number 3, the voter must enter their current address. The judge of election and minority inspector must observe the voter filling in the envelope and then write in the ward division, date, reason for ballot, and sign the bottom section of the envelope before the ballot is marked by the voter. Once that has all been filled out, the voter will be presented with the ballot, which they will mark in a private, secluded section of the polling place. After marking their ballot, the voter must return the ballot to the judge of election to place inside the provisional affidavit envelope. The voter then signs and dates section number 4 on the provisional affidavit envelope. The judge of election and minority inspector must witness the voter sign the affidavit on the provisional affidavit envelope. The judge of election and minority inspector then affix a ballot ID number sticker on the provisional affidavit envelope and present the voter with a receipt matching that ballot ID number sticker so they can check the status of their ballot after the election. If the provisional ballot was used because voting machines were not working, the judge of election will place a machine down sticker in the bottom section of the provisional affidavit envelope. If a voter requests ADA-assisted voting, the machine inspector will provide the voter with the ADA device and headphones. Once the ballot has been inserted in the paper path module, the voter may activate the assistive voting mode by pressing the green square select button on the ADA device, producing the help screen on the ExpressVote XL. The machine inspector should assist the voter with adjusting the volume and tempo before they begin voting. If the voter has brought a rocker paddle or sip and puff device, the machine inspector can help plug that device into the ADA device. They may now listen to the audio ballot instructions using the headphones and navigate the voting process using the keypad on the ADA device. The yellow next button and green select button will allow the voter to progress through the voting process and make their selections. Once the voter has confirmed, verified, printed, and cast their ballot, the ExpressVote XL screen will automatically reset to default. If a voter has never voted in your division before, they will be required to show some form of identification. The board worker will ask the voter to provide this identification, which may be a valid Pennsylvania driver's license or state ID, U.S. passport, voter registration card, student ID, employee ID, or otherwise acceptable form of identification. Please refer to the Election Board Guide for the complete list of approved forms of identification. Once the voter has provided an acceptable form of ID, they may sign into the poll book and vote on the ExpressVote XL. If the voter does not have an acceptable ID, they must vote by provisional ballot. If a voter has an inactive status, they must complete an affirmation of elector form before being able to vote. This form is located inside the purple folder marked Attention Judge of Election. The board worker will hand the voter the form to be completed, filling in sections A and/or C and signing the affirmation prior to signing into the poll book. The minority inspector will initial the form and input the voter's admission number in the appropriate box on the voter's record in the poll book. The minority inspector will place the completed form in the number 2 envelope. The voter may then sign into the poll book and proceed to vote on the ExpressVote XL. After a voter has signed into the poll book, if they request assistance with voting on the ExpressVote XL, they must first complete an assistance declaration form. This form is found in the purple folder marked Attention Judge of Election. The machine inspector and judge of election should sign the form once the voter has completed their portion. The voter may then proceed to the ExpressVote XL. Voters are entitled to receive assistance from anyone they choose, except the judge of election, employer, or their union representative. The person providing assistance may not promote a candidate or discourage a voter from selecting any candidate while providing assistance. It is very important to have every voter complete the assistance declaration form before receiving assistance. All polls must remain open until 8 p.m. when it is time to close the polls. All ExpressVote XL machines must remain open until then. Any voter who is in line to vote by 8 p.m. may vote. If you have a line at 8 p.m., a poll worker should hold the last place in line to ensure nobody else attempts to join the line. After all voters have finished their voting sessions and no voters remain in the polling place, you may close the polls. Each board member will sign the affidavit for identification requirements located at the front of each poll book, swearing under oath that they have examined the approved forms of identification presented by voters for whom the election official have affixed their initials in the poll book. The machine inspector will close the ExpressVote XL. All closing seals are found in the election materials box. The judge will delegate poll closing tasks to board members as needed. No board